If you thought mobile interfaces were a big deal, get ready.
The overarching goal of Neuralink is to create ultimately a whole brain interface, a generalized input-output device that in the long term literally could interface with every aspect of your brain. And in the short term, can interface with any given section of your brain and solve a tremendous number of things that cause debilitating issues for people. The biggest limitation in going along for the ride and in aligning AI, I think, is the bandwidth, how quickly you can interact with the computer. So we are all already cyborgs in a way, in that your phone and your computer are extensions of yourself.
Elon totally has a point. Like, as sad as it is, I do not go away from my phone. Like, it really is connected to me basically all the time. Same with my computer. If it's gone, I feel weird. I feel stressed.
I'm sure you found, like, if you leave your phone behind, you end up tapping your pockets, and it's like having missing limb syndrome. Leaving your phone behind is kind of like a missing limb at this point. You're so used to interfacing with it. You're so used to being a de facto cyborg. So what's the limitation on a phone or a laptop? The limitation is the rate at which you can receive and send information, especially the speed with which you can send information.
What Elon is basically saying here is that our brains are super efficient at being able to input lots of information really quickly. Like, we're really good at processing, but we're really slow and inefficient at outputting information.
So if you're interacting with a phone, it's limited by the speed at which you can move your thumbs, or the speed at which you can talk into your phone. This is an extremely low data rate. Maybe it's like 10, optimistically 100 bits per second, but a computer can communicate at gigabits, terabits per second. So this is the fundamental limitation that I think we need to address to mitigate the long-term risk of artificial intelligence, and also just go along for the ride. Now, this video is now 18 months old. So this is Pager, who is playing monkey mind pong.
This still blows my mind.
Pager has a Neuralink implant in this video. You can't even see the neural implant. It's sort of like having an Apple Watch or a Fitbit, replacing a piece of skull with like a smartwatch. So you can see, he looks he's normal. And I think that's pretty important. If you have a Neuralink device, like I could have a Neuralink device implanted right now, and you wouldn't, you wouldn't even know. I mean, hypothetically, maybe one of these demos, in fact, one of these demos I will.
Okay, forget the iPhone demo. This was definitely going to be the most iconic demo ever if it happens.
And then, so we first trained Pager to play Pong with a joystick, then we took the joystick away and have the Neuralink, and now he's playing telepathic video games, essentially. So what we've been doing since then is we've been on the very difficult journey from prototype to product. And we've been working hard to be ready for our first human.
So this is happening. So the first person that's going to do it, it's most likely going to be someone with a really high need for it, with a debilitating injury.
And obviously, we want to be extremely careful and certain that it will work well before putting a device in a human. But we've submitted, I think, most of our paperwork to the FDA, and we think probably in about 6 months we should be able to have our first Neuralink in a human. What you're seeing there is, it looks like the Matrix, but that's actually that's a real output of neural signals. That's not a simulation or just a screensaver or something. Those are actual neurons firing. That is what one of the readouts looks like. Now this is telepathic typing. He's not actually using a keyboard. He's moving the cursor with his mind to the highlighted key. But what's really cool here is Sake the monkey is moving the mouse cursor using just his mind.
I mean, this just blows my mind. This is literally a monkey typing right now. And yes, the keys are highlighted for him, but still, this is a monkey typing with his brain.
So this is something that could be used for somebody who's say quadriplegic or tetraplegic human, even before we make the spinal cord stuff work, is being able to control a mouse cursor, control a phone, and we're confident that someone who has basically no other interface to the outside world would be able to control their phone better than someone who has working hands.
This is like a huge deal. So imagine that something happens to you and you can't type, you can't move your cursor, you can't do any of that stuff. And now there's not only a way to do it at all in some limited capacity, but you'll be able to do it better than the average person can today. Like that's a really, really big deal for people.
The monkeys actually enjoy doing the demos because they get the banana smoothie, and it's kind of a fun game. So I guess what I'm trying to make is like we care a great deal about animal welfare.
Next on my bucket list is to basically do a bunch of research for any company designing an interface for a different species. So if there's any company out there doing that, let me know. I want to accomplish that on my bucket list.
And I'm pretty sure, like our monkeys are pretty happy, you know. So as you can see, a quick decision maker on the fruit front. So for our, the first two applications we're going to aim for in humans are restoring vision. Even if someone has never had vision ever, like they were born blind, we believe we can still restore vision because the visual part of the cortex is still there. And then the other application being in the motor cortex, where we would initially enable someone who has no ability, almost no ability to operate their muscles, you know, sort of like a sort of Stephen Hawking type situation, and enable them to operate their phone faster than someone who has working hands. I think we're confident there are no physical limitations to enabling full body functionality. I mean, as miraculous as it may sound, we're confident that it is possible to restore full body functionality to someone who has a severed spinal cord.